I'm still being tracked. I'm still being tracked over here, guys. You're telling me the CV1 doesn't have room tracking when it's tracking me all the way over here?
Welcome back to another Reality Check VR video. Today we're going to be talking about the Oculus Rift CV1 and of course the HTC Vive HMD headsets and some of the myths, lies, rumors that have been going around that I've been hearing. So I am just compelled to make this video, not because I think that there needs to be another video comparing the two. Quite the opposite. I think there needs to be a video out there just saying, you know, stop comparing the two. I mean, obviously people want to know what's the better buy. They want to know what should they go with. At the same time, so many of those videos that are coming out where people are trying to tell people information, that they're misleading them and they're giving them false information. And somebody who's actually, you know, played with both headsets and played with the DK2 for hours and days and months and years worth of time, I can certainly tell you that I do significantly know the differences between them, and they're very small, and it's almost unnecessary for this feud to be going on and for these fanboy wars to be happening. I would be very happy to be having a Vive on one of these little heads right here, just as much as I'd be happy to have an Oculus on there. I don't care which one. Just the fact of the matter is there certainly is going to be preferences, and even I myself do have my own opinions about them. So let's try to make this video really quick and cut to the point on what the opinions are and what I think is actually different. So very quickly, I've tried both headsets. They're, once again, both great. Both great. The big difference is people are saying the HTC Vive has the wands, and of course with that you can then play room scale games, and because of it, it's blowing the Oculus out of the water. My response to that is the Oculus is going to have the touch. Of course, the controllers aren't out yet. You'll be able to play all of those games. Just like right now, you can play all of the Steam games with the Oculus as it is. And if you by chance happen to have a Razer Hydra, just like I do, you're playing every single Steam game with your CV1 and your Razer Hydra controllers without a problem. Without a problem. So it's very easy to move around and to even move your controller around. If you've got it like me, I've got my controllers on a guitar base, so I can actually simply take this thing, move it. I can move this thing around the room as I'm moving around, and I've got my hands with me wherever I need to go. So I've got a CV1, and I'm playing all the HTC Vive games without a problem. All right, so that's just not a concern with me as what games I can play, because I can play all the games regardless of what headset I have. Oh, that's not right. If I've got a Vive headset, I can't play Oculus games. So that's the one thing that's pissing people off a lot right now. That whole DRM and the whole Oculus thing. I'm not going to comment on that other than I'm with you guys. Who wants a locked system? Who wants a locked system? I personally don't own an iPhone. I personally don't really support Apple too much. I know a lot of you guys do, but Apple is a closed system, and Steve Jobs kind of just perfected that whole business idea of Oculus is kind of just following in the footsteps and trying to be like that. Anyways, I don't know a whole lot about everything when it comes to their business because I'm not in their business meetings, and I think, you know, the people that are commenting the most furiously about this are certainly not the people that have the most information. So I'm going to sit back and let other people tackle that issue specifically. This video is going to be more about the headsets themselves. So aesthetically, when you look at the Oculus Rift, we're going to pull it up over here. So when you look at the Oculus Rift, you can tell right away it's just got those really amazing, you know, beautiful textures, quality, the sleekness, the design of it is just really, really cool looking. Oops, I just turned on the Oculus right there. So the fact of the matter is, it is a more beautiful looking headset. It is lighter. It's easier to play with for longer periods of time. Because of the way that it wraps around your head like a baseball cap right here, it actually even fits your head a little bit more. So if you're leaning all the way over at a 45-degree angle or 90-degree angle, your headset's not going to feel like it's going to pop off like it does with the HTC Vive. So comfort for longer periods of sessions. Certainly the Oculus Rift is going to be better for comfort for longer periods of time. As I said before, if you have third-party controllers, or, you know, if you're waiting for the touch controllers, you'll be able to play all the HTC Vive games already without any problems with the CV1, without any mods, without any hacks, you know, with no problem at all. And on top of that, the whole room scale thing. This is the big reason I wanted to make this video is because of room scale. People keep talking about, you know, how the HTC Vive has room scale. Yes, it does. It has very good room scale, but so does the CV1. And even with one tracker, I've got one tracker up on my, you know, it's 6 feet tall at a little bit of an angle, and I can walk around my entire room, and it's more than 3 meters by 3 meters. And I've got no problem being tracked when I'm on the ground or when I'm standing up, and when I'm turning around full 360, it tracks me just fine. And to prove that, I'm actually going to jump in a few little games at the end of this rant here, and I'll jump in and I'll show you me walking around my room, and you can see what it's like to do room scale with that. At the same time, just to reiterate this whole thing, is I was using the DK2 up until last week, and the DK2 actually does room scale just fine. Of course, it's kind of finicky. It does not have 360 room scale, but it certainly actually has room scale. I was playing Space Pirate Trainer. I was playing a chair in a room. I was playing many games with the HTC Vive logo on them, simply because I had the Razer and a DK2, and they were fun. They were great. They were enjoyable. I could play them to the full extent without a problem, and I can say that honestly. So for people to be saying that the Oculus CV1 doesn't have room scale, it's just crazy to hear that, because the DK2 had room scale, guys. It didn't have 360 room scale, but it had room scale. Okay, that tracker could get you pretty far away, especially if you put it at a proper angle. And the CV1 with its back tracker on there, it certainly has room scale going on, because the fact that it's tracking you over here. Of course, if you start ducking down on the ground and the tracker can't see, and if you're hiding from the tracker, of course it's not going to see you. But as long as this part is being seen by the tracker, you've got scale going on wherever you are. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear people saying the Oculus doesn't have that anymore. It's so silly to say that. It's like hearing people say the HTC Vive doesn't allow you to sit down and play games. It doesn't allow you to sit down and play games. Well, of course it allows you to sit down and play games. You can do whatever you want with it. But then once again, people with the Vive say it's probably better to play sit-down games with the Oculus. So lastly, I do want to say I think I've kind of lucked out. I think I've really lucked out, because having this controller, I bought it for $90 on Amazon, brand new, when nobody cared about them. I had just seen people using the DK1, and they were using the DK1 and they were strapping these things to their heads, and they were doing all kinds of crazy developments with it. So I bought it for purposes of development, and for a long time I didn't use it, kind of on and off, just a little bit here and there. And it wasn't until the 6 Sense pack came out, and of course the new Steam SDK came out supporting it, that I really got the most use I've ever gotten out of those things. But if you have a CV1 and you have the Razer Hydras, you have the best package. You can play all of the Oculus games. You can play all of the HTC Vive games. And you can do it all with ease without really any difficulty at all. So, and it looks better than it would if you were on a Vive screen. And that's what Vive people have said. I personally have used both, and that's what I say. And at the same time, if you were wondering how well do these track, I've used both. These track perfectly. The only problem is the moment I start to get away from my base station too far, then they start to become a little wobbly, which is the problem. On top of that, they've got this dreaded thing, which I always mess up. So anyways, I'm going to end this video right now. I hope you guys enjoy this little rant, but I gotta end it with, I've talked a lot about the Oculus because I have it and I've been loving on it. At the same time, I think the HTC Vive is amazing. I don't have one, but I would be extremely happy to be an owner of one. I don't think anybody has to worry about, being left out if they have one or the other in the long run. I do believe in the long run, we're all going to be playing the same games together with motion controls, regardless of what headset you have. So please, guys, stop the war and just be kind to each other. And one other thing, I wanted to show this just because somebody actually asked me about this, so we'll show it right here at the end. They asked me how I get such space out of my cable. You can extend your cables. I found out you can't extend them 25 feet, but you can extend them at least 10 to 15 feet. And I'll kind of move my mic down here so you can see I've got a breakout here that comes out of the back of my computer. So this breakout comes out right here, and then I just plug in an HDMI right there, and I've got a USB 3 right there. So the USB 3 and the HDMI go right into here. Now I've got my headset cable that I can move around with me. And of course this breakout can come out about another 10 or from here about another 5 feet. So about another 5 feet from right here, and then I've got the whole extension of the cable. So that's how I get the room scale going on with the CV1. Before, when I had the DK2, I had just a bunch of other extensions going on it. And just since we're here, I'll show you. Over here on my wall, this is where my tracker is. So I keep the tracker right there, just up at an angle, and it works out really well. So anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Later.
Hey, you can feel when you start to get over here, I've got maybe a little bit of loss of tracking right there. Then again, also if I had my tracker up at a different angle, it wouldn't do this. So a lot of this is going to be all about your angle. So let's see if I can.
Hey, Giant Cop, that drunk on the rooftop is in danger of getting hurt.
I want to chase after it. I got a computer there, dang it. Ooh. I'm still being tracked. I'm still being tracked over here, guys. You're telling me the CV1 doesn't have room tracking when it's tracking me all the way over here?
Hey, Giant, that drunk on the rooftop is in danger of getting hurt.
Oh, lost it. And that's all about tracker position right there.
You did go to the academy, didn't you?
Here, I'm gonna follow you, buddy. You go first. You go first, buddy. I'm coming. Where are you going? Where are you going, helicopter? Oh, that's where my area stops.
Hey, Giant Cop,
I think.
drunk on the rooftop is in danger of
Oh yeah, I've got a desk over here. I've got a desk over here, buddy. So yeah, you can tell it starts to get a little bit wobbly after you start to get pretty far away, but if you had two trackers like the HTC Vive has, and like you will have once the Touch comes out, then you're going to be just fine. I mean, check this out.
It's gonna be a long day if you don't pick up that drunk on the
Hi guys. Hey Casper. Hey everyone. Oh, I see the drunk. You see the drunk, guys?
long day if you don't pick up that drunk on the rooftop.
Yep, that drunk right there.
It's gonna be a long day.
I know, I'll pick up the drunk, okay?
On the rooftop.
Whip. 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 Oh shit, I hit my base station. Alright, what other thing shows